So, welcome. Welcome to this beautiful Monday morning as we're really dropping into our natural fluidity here on this Global Heart Resonance call. We meet every Monday, and it's just simply an opportunity to really come into this full embodiment of this field, this unified field of love. And I'm Shelley, darling, and happy to be here with you. And just a mention for good of the whole, which is really that we're coming here as stewards for good of the whole. Good of the whole as a planet, that we're here in service as being a whole being, in service and contributing to the greater whole. And we're here to express that and deeply listen into this field as it invites us to align and embody what we're calling this home frequency. So this morning, I'm so excited that Henry Lepler is here, and he's gifted us with our resonant reflection, and we'll be sharing that after we have some resonance and just a quick sharing of the container of this field, how we hold it as a collective. So let's take a few deep breaths and really feel into the waters. I was reading this morning from this book. It was a gardening book called The Spirit of Landscape. And in one place, it was talking about water. And it was talking about the 4 qualities of water. So as we're going into this resonance, just drinking in this osmotic sense of self. So those 4 qualities: clarity, purity, freshness, and power. So this morning, as we're just deepening in, we're softening our body into that resilient space of love, of connection. Water is the energy that informs and connects us to everything, to each other. And we're just breathing in as this beautiful infinity pool of life, energy, and force. And we know that infinity pool is like calm on the surface. And then as it reaches the edge, it just drops off, and we just open our body and settle deeply into our bones. The spiralic energy that's encoding us and connecting this morning in our heart. And sometimes just simply putting our hand on our heart or hands on our heart brings us to that place of cherishing our waters. And taking a few moments and settling into that, feeling that sensation. How is your pool of water this morning? Is it gushing and rushing or still? Maybe you're in deep reflection, that beautiful reflecting pool. Are you feeling clear or cloudy? And embracing it all. And we feel this unitive place of communion, this galactic heart that we as star beings, feeling this joy of our embodied presence here this morning. And with each breath, we allow that radiance to expand, to regenerate, and clarify our inner waters. We come here in reverence and expectant joy. with great gratitude for how we're showing up with honor and respect. And we are water. Just taking another beautiful oceanic breath, allowing your body to rise with the inhale, crest, and let go. And so it is. So again, welcome to those who just joined us. And just a few simple guidelines to hold the container for everyone is simply to share your name for people who are on the call who might not be able to see this beautiful collage of faces. Speaking 1 to 2 minutes, really staying to the bottom line of your experience. What's moving? What's emerging? What's that thread that you're following from the person before you? Really trusting that, trusting your expression. And inviting that beautiful pause, the space of limitless information where we all become filled with this deepest sense of knowing. And then through our expression, we expand and speak to the field. That's it for this morning. And I pass this beautiful virtual sunlit talking stick to Henry to open our call.
Thank you, Shelley. Good morning, everyone. I have a delicious reading for you this morning, at least that I feel delicious. So still connecting with your heart and opening to what is emerging, opening to the newness in each moment. As this reading is titled Being and Becoming. On the spiritual path, it's important to become aware of the paradox of both being and becoming. Being means you are absolutely perfect just as you are every moment, right in this moment in your life. At all times. And becoming means you can always do better. You are growing and learning every day, and you have unlimited potential inside you to bloom as a beautiful, unique flower that you are called to become. The ground of being provides the infinite peace, boundless freedom, and incomparable self-love. The becoming provides the fire, the passion, the drive and sense of divine purpose to awaken the world through the clear channel of universal creative intelligence, or God. Becoming without the ground of being leaves great stress, worry, and anxiety. Being without the integration of becoming leaves malaise, laziness, and depression. To hold both these truths at the same time brings both the deepest peace and deep creative passion. To hold both energies, to be fully in the world yet not of it, is to realize yourself as fully human and wholly divine. And this writing, these words are from Brian Sartori Pierre Grossi. So just still remaining connected with your heart space. We will be opening to sharing, to what emerges from your being and from your becoming. I give the talking stick back to Shelley. Are we ready to go? Okay. So jump in as you feel moved.
Greetings all, this is Kate in South Dakota, and I will pick up that talking feather only to really say that I feel like I'm in this place of discovering what my being is becoming. In every new situation, in every group, I'm getting more direction, clarity. Just had to say I'm in the process of that. Thank you, Henry, for that beautiful reading. Thank you all for being here.
This is Shelley, and I'm just feeling this beauty of this process that was just being shared, this process, and it feels like a dance to me. This morning, I was thinking, do I go for a walk or what should I do? And before the call, and was really called to just put on some music and to move my body. And it feels like that movement of the two as one. You know, it's this interdimensional play of experience, that creative force of the universe that is fully connected to itself. And as I slow down and as I breathe, I really tap into that, the flavor of that in the moment, which then becomes the becoming, the movement. To me, the movement is always the becoming. So I'm just feeling into this field of the being and the becoming as a sporadic dance of nature. And I'm complete.
This is Henry again. I'm seeing, sensing, feeling Dinama's grandson's presence. Not sure if he's nearby, but the kind of joyful becoming, the opening to the newness, to discovery, to feeling, to sensing, to experiencing that emerges out of his beingness, or the inner child within each of us that it sparks, and the inner child is always kind of desiring to discover, to learn, to grow, to expand, to experience. So just wanted to add that. Feel complete.
Good morning, everybody. It's Mara. What an appropriate, beautiful, beautiful topic. Thank you, Henry. Thank you, Shelley. This is so appropriate for me now. I am looking at balancing my being as I'm transitioning in a whole new journey in my life, a whole new physical journey, which of course means everything, physical, emotional, spiritual, as we move in the next 2 weeks to Colorado. And that bit of unknown of connecting with new people and new spirits, new souls for business and for personal. And the joy of knowing that I have you all here every Monday morning to help me in my being and in my becoming brings a lot of ease to my heart. Because I know you're here wherever I am. You know, wherever I go, here you are. You're always with me. I think that's always been a bit of a challenge for me, is balancing the being and the becoming. But it's a very beautiful dance. And you can't have, as Henry so eloquently read, there is an imbalance if you cannot do both. You have to have that dance of being and becoming. And when it is in flow, it is so beautiful and everything works beautifully. I just wanted to share that and tell you all that I love you so much and so happy to see you on this Monday morning. And we'll continue to do so from here in Colorado. I'm complete.
Good morning, everyone. It's Nancy in California. I never thought of these two things as a dance. It's just a wonderful new concept for me. I was just at a retreat over the weekend, and one of the things I wrote down in my notes was, the universe doesn't give you what you want. The universe gives you what you are being. And I was just going over those notes this morning before I even knew that this was the topic. But it seemed like such a responsibility to have to be in the being to get what you need in life. And somehow the dance of being and becoming takes away the pressure and makes it a more human, natural process that's doable. And anyway, I find the joy in the process of becoming so much. But I love the concept of this dance, and that's going to really take me through everything I just learned this weekend, and with much more ease and grace, which is what I am looking for more in life. I'm complete.
This is Shelley. I just want to jump in because seeing that tree behind Nancy and Mara is the essence of, for me, I kept looking at the bark and the movement in the bark and the becoming, because, you know, that tree grows and it's forming its bark. It's outside as it's growing, and the leaves are expanding as it's getting the nutrients that it needs. And it's fully rooted in the earth. And it is the essence of being and becoming as one third, three-dimensional form, and so I guess the being and the becoming is sort of this recognition of oneself as beauty. And I didn't quite get that until that moment, like, oh, this is where I can embrace myself as beautiful. It's not because I put on makeup or I put on a nice dress or I'm wearing great colors. It's the essence of the being that is becoming its full self, its fullest expression. And in that, there's that winding and weaving of experience and expression. So I'm just kind of loving that visual, and I'm complete past the talking feather.
This is Ariana. Hello. That's beautiful thread, Shelley. And I was feeling the dance that you were speaking to, and feeling the becoming and being as existing, non-existing. Before there were telephones, they were non-existent. But there was a time they existed in the future. So this play of existing, non-existing is fluid in present and future. And I was feeling dancing Saturday night with my beautiful husband, and feeling what it felt to be non-existent, and feeling the movement the moment it existed. Being and becoming one dance. Whoa, so what does that feel now? I wonder. The non-existent future that we feel in the field. What if the field feels the highest potential, and we can hold it and feel it and bring it into being? What if that's what the field is asking of us? Come dance with me. Come know I'm here, I'm alive, I'm aware. And I'm calling the world into being born. Born. Not not something you do once. Being born. Born, like carried in the currency of life. Where life was once non-existent, and then there is a miracle, and life exists. It's a miracle. What if we all hold the future as a miracle? We are born into a miracle. And I am complete.
Good morning, everybody, or good now, everybody. I am coming to you from my new landing pad in North Medford. I am not with my grandson today physically, but oh, is he present, just like all of us. He's the curiosity and exploration of his consciousness is a beautiful witness to our creative spark, our being of divinity, our co-creatorship, and our passion for the unknown. And being present in this moment, which is moving. Einstein discovered that when time and space come together, that's where gravity is created. Just a hint of how we are manifesting our experience in this energetic field of co-creation, simply by vibrating there. Anyway, I'm complete.
Hey everyone, this is Karen from Costa Rica. While Henry was speaking, I was seeing like a video of someone's life. At first I thought it was not significant until I realized it was. I was wondering why that was coming through. And it was someone knowing they had to leave a place. They had a garden growing. I saw it as more of a vertical garden. And knowing they needed to go off. And after things were harvested, they had all the vines and everything pulled out. They left knowing they would come back, but when they came back, it would not be quite the same. But they would replant anew. I was a little puzzled. I could think of possibles. But when Oriana was talking, I realized that's because when you return, it's the same place, but not the same, because it's another turn on the ever ascending spiral journey that I believe is our becoming. As we turn, we're back at the same location, but we are not, because we've moved up the spiral. I think it's kind of our ascending spiral of becoming. And I felt an excitement, but also a melancholy. It's both, somehow. So I think it is the field calling us to keep moving up that spiral. That's complete for now.
Well, Kate will just grab that feather briefly to say, I thank you for the dance lessons that I'm receiving this morning. They're just exquisitely beautiful. Thank you all. Now return the feather.
What is emerging here as I was being in the dance last night, couldn't sleep. Maybe I slept for a couple of hours, and being the dance and witnessing the dance and really just looking, I feel that I am challenged in a way to, or I can say it's like at the very edge of a big opening, a big breakthrough for the beliefs that I have held most of my life, coming from a different culture. I have about men and about sexuality. I have learned to be in that peaceful quietness, delicious, yummy space with me, and I have prayed deeply for someone who shows up to do the outer dance, not only that which I am with the spirit, but with another. And I am seeing that it's like really I am watching the walls coming down. I am watching, in a way, I am penetrating in the mass. I am going into the wall and watching it coming down at the same time. I'm not saying that it is an easy, even though I get a lot of joy being in the process, but I'm challenged. It's like the being. I've been in that, you may say, peaceful, serene home, but there is a stagnation there. And I feel sometimes is what is happening is the explosion inside of me that it needs an outlet. It's just keeping it, holding it all the time is not healthy. And the moving and the gravity, the time, space, and it's like another universe meeting you. And then what I'm finding is the merging, of the what we call the divine aspect of the human. I always had issues, and it's been always challenging to embrace the reality, the physicalness, this time and space here. And it's just maybe it is a rap, it is not a tango, you know. It's just the energy and the happening, and is sometimes it's 2-3 days process seems like 10 years. It just continues, opening, deepening, becoming being. So as I was hearing everyone, I saw how I was reacting. I was coughing a lot as I am being in that congestion, in that emergence for what I have called in, what I have prayed all my life. Show up. My only desire in this life is to experience what I'm experiencing within me with another being at all the levels. And hallelujah. I am complete.
Hi, it's Nancy. As I'm looking and see the reflection of the tree behind me, it's an interesting situation with that tree that somehow goes along with what we're sharing, because maybe about 6 months ago, the tree completely died. All of the branches had to be cut off, and we left the trunk as kind of a sculpture, and it was really hard to let go. I've been doing a lot of letting go this last couple of years, and that was really hard because I loved this tree outside my bedroom window. But very interestingly enough, there was another tree all these years behind it, which I didn't even realize was the same family of kind of eucalyptus tree. And when all of this tree was cut down, the branches, and only the trunk was left, that tree appeared and was pruned, and it kind of has taken the place of the dead branches. And it's not quite the same, but there's still a feeling of that beautiful eucalyptus trunk and all the leaves. And then now that tree, because it has light now, because it didn't have light when the other tree was hogging all the light, it has a chance to bloom and grow and kind of be a surrogate leaves for the trunk. So it started with letting go and accepting change, and then having a surprise of the universe taking care of me and giving me an alternative. It's not the same, but it's new and it's its own beauty. Somehow that reminds me of being and becoming. I don't really have the words for it, but my process of that tree that I've loved so much outside my window is a good metaphor for being and becoming. And now the two are doing the dance. One's the trunk and one's the leaves. And together they make a whole. Thank you.
This is Henry again. Just continuing on the thread that was just shared about the trees. I was tuning into the breath and trying to understand the in-breath and the out-breath, which is the being, which is the becoming. And to me, the in-breath feels like the being. We're taking in, we're connecting more deeply with our beings, or at least that's one aspect of it. And the out-breath, the letting go, as Nancy just shared, is opening to the becoming, it's opening to the possibilities, it's opening to the unmanifest that was expressed earlier within us. And I also want to link that to another thought that also came in is that this heart resonance that we connect with is the merging of both being and becoming. So when we're connected with our hearts, we're deeply connected with our beings. And at the same time, we're connected with the fire and the passion of the becoming, of the yearning that moves us to the greater possibilities of who we are, and the greater possibilities of expressing, of seeing and expressing the greater magnificence and beauty in each of us when we take time, especially from this heart resonance place where that dance is happening. So I feel complete.
This is Shelley, and what's coming to me is that this fire and passion that's being talked about is the becoming. It is the fire within that soul yearning, that where in which prayer comes from. Like prayer, what is prayer? Prayer is that essence of being in its sensate form, wanting to feel more, wanting to be more. And in some ways, a lot of it's gotten convoluted in so much materialism. And this is like it feels like it's that, it's like when your arms are down or you're dancing and all of a sudden your arms come up, and it's like it raises the vibration, because vibration, energy, frequency is what we're doing. I think when we're in that becoming, we're in that fire and that passion, that sensate being. And the experience of relationship is everything, because it always begins within us. And the recognition in that reflecting pool that was talked about earlier is the experience of meeting another, where the water meets the shore. The water, you know, it needs a container. It's the rocks and the soil that define its body, its movement. So whether it's a pouring waterfall or it's a, you know, just a gentle rivulet. I love that came a rivulet. Don't you love that word? Rivulet. You know, it's like it's defined by its container, and we are that. And that's what I feel like I love so much about this call, is that it's always redefining itself in its becoming. And we get to feel it as a collective, and something different than, you know, just like to be able to, and then it sets you back into the being. It's a really interesting play, isn't it? You know, it's like the movement, the flowering, and the being, the rooting. So I'm just really in love with this expression of the field this morning, and I'm complete.
This is Dinama. In the stillness, I feel the pulse of my heart. And this is the pulse informing me. I'm complete.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, hi, this is June from California, and I got on the call late. As I've been listening, I was thinking back to my own life, and I've always laughed and said I've lived at least 4 different lifetimes because of huge changes that have taken place. And it's been a real series of being and becoming. I realize that every time that I have been willing to take what I have lived through and really acknowledged it, appreciated it, and carried it with me as wisdom, that then in any new becoming that has happened for me, it has been a gift of newness, a gift of discovering what else I am, who I am, and what the world around me is. And so it's been a series of my entire life of that being and becoming, and recognizing that trying to stay the same is impossible, but it's also stagnating. And so as I'm listening to everyone and reliving my own life as I sit here listening, I'm just so grateful for the gift of everything that I've experienced, and for my willingness to take it into the next step And as each year passes and there seems to be, a closer time to when the becoming will be on another plane, I can feel and see that it's not ever going to end. It doesn't matter where I'll be or what corporal body I'm in or just an energy that I'm in, that I can carry, I can feel, I can be this becoming. And I'm just so aware of how important it is for me to stay in that space and pick myself up when it gets a little harder to do that. But just the recognition of that power and that grace and that excitement and love that lives in that becoming and in the being. So I'm just delighted to be on the call today. I apologize for being late, and I'm complete.
It's Nancy. And I was just noticing that being and becoming both end in ing. They're very much action, doing oriented words. So I like that because it's not like you become and then you be and then you're done. It's more this dance we're talking about, and it really does have to do with action. And I'm always so motivated personally by doing, and looking for the balance of doing and being, the doobie do thing. And I just like that. They're both ing words, action words, and it never ends. The dance continues. Thank you.
This is Henry. I want to follow that, especially with the theme of dance that has come through, and that movement is kind of a passion of mine, or embodiment is, if it's appropriate, I just invite people after this merging to just open to movement, in the quietness of space, outdoors or indoors, of opening to moving your being, your beingness, going to that place, maybe first connecting or staying connected with that heart resonance. And then at the appropriate time, opening to the becoming. And what it is that you are opening to, whether it be a move that you're making or a movement that you are seeking in your life to express or move out of being and move into becoming, move into what you are seeking, which is within you. And just explore that in whatever way feels comfortable. You can do that with music or with silence. So anyway, I just felt called to add that. I feel complete.
So let's take a breath with that. And it's funny, what just came to me was, and possibly what is seeking you? That comes from many years of going inside and working with a teacher a long time ago. So this is a great time for us to allow whoever hasn't shared to bring their voice into this beautiful circle, and the rest of us just holding the space continuing that movement of being and becoming, which is organic. We can't get away from it. It is who we are. It is who we be. Just nice to kind of turn around and let the consciousness look at itself and kind of go in deeper from that place. So we're just going to hold a minute or two of silence and allow anyone who hasn't shared to jump on. Just bring their voice in. And of course, that's if you want to.
So this is Anita putting in my voice, and I have got a lot of battery, which is why I've been off video, but I've been enjoying it, being and becoming. It's very inspiring. Thank you all.
Sorry, but I just forgot to add, if you are trying that movement of from being to becoming, just experience the point in between. And you know, you can kind of merge one into the other. Either, you know, so anyway, sorry, it just felt like an important detail.
Like the center of the infinity symbol that was brought on another call.
All right, so what a beautiful experience we're all collectively having. And just to joy in that, that beautiful golden frequency. I'm looking at this beautiful stained glass behind me, this upliftment of that arrow of the blue frequency into the gold and the purple, gorgeous. So at this point, we just invite everyone to take themselves off mute, and we will close with a beautiful resonant yum going out into the world, into those that we love and those that are needing it. So, yum, yum,
Yum, yum, yum, yum, yummy, much love.
We love you. Much love. See you next week. Blessings, blessings, blessings.